Hello and welcome back to the Perception Podcast, where we just see things a little bit differently. I'm Dan, your host. And yesterday I actually finished year 12. I'm actually done for the year now. I did my mocks, obviously, as I talked about a few times on here. And now I'm just completely done. I've got about 2 months off where I just get to relax, obviously do a bit of summer work, do what I want to. And yeah, I'm really going to use that, I think. I'm really going to use that as a time to relax, but also a time where I can really crack on with this a bit more. Where I've had to miss a couple of weeks here and there, or maybe had to delay episodes. I really want to crack on with this. So the year that I've done this, my 17th to 18th birthday, because I want to do this for a year, I have about 50 episodes which I can look back on in the future and go, like, see how I was feeling at this period of time and see what I was going through and stuff like this, and just kind of reflect, really. And then my kind of whole idea was to every major life event after that, or just whenever I wanted to hop on, not every week after that, but certainly every maybe 6 months to a year, I wanted to hop on to kind of recount my year and how that's gone and how I'm kind of progressing, moving forward past 18 and how I'm progressing with my life. I think that could be quite fun. But yeah, definitely I want to use these 2 months that I've got off now, these 2 months summer holidays, to really crack on with this, do some things that I'm more passionate about and excited in, and not get so stressed about the schoolwork like I have been. And yeah, I kind of wanted to just hop on today, not as a real episode, kind of like a half episode, just to kind of give a bit of an update, give a bit of just to say I'm off school, really. And I also wanted to talk about some of the stuff I'm looking forward to at this 2 month break, because obviously during these whole past 16, 17 episodes, I've talked a lot about what I'm struggling with and how I'm trying to get through it. But I also think it's important to remember, even if it's quite small, the things that you're looking forward to and the things that you think could really bring your spirits up, especially when you're feeling a bit more down. Just making a big deal out of maybe small things can often help and can often improve your mood. Even if it's just small little bits over time, that could improve it dramatically. So yeah, I thought I'd just kind of talk about some of the stuff that I'm really hoping to enjoy. I think what I'm looking for is looking forward to it in the break anyway. And there's definitely a few albums coming out during the break that I'm really looking forward to. A few of my more favourite artists as well. So I think that's definitely something that I'll really look to kind of in-depth look at, kind of relax as well. I know Tyler, the Creator, came out with an album that I haven't really had the time. Even though I've heard the songs here and there, I've listened to them on YouTube as that, and that he's really an artist that kind of puts a whole project together and kind of collectively collates all these different sounds and stuff. It's not just music. So I definitely want to go on Spotify and set an hour down on my day where I can really focus on that and kind of listen to what the deeper meaning of what he's trying to say, really. I think that could be a really cool experience there. But then obviously, especially this weekend coming up, as I say, this is literally Saturday, the day after I broke up. Tonight we've got the Conor McGregor Dustin Poirier, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but their trilogy fight, and oh my god, am I looking forward to this. I'm definitely going to be watching it at 2 a.m. or whenever they walk out, because it's always later than they say it's going to be. But this fight could go either way. Poirier, you know what you're going to get with him. He's a skilled boxer, technician, that kind of fighter. He doesn't give up. He's got a heart of gold. And he's got a chin on him, to be fair, but you got, the McGregor, you've got the star quality, you've got the technical striking, but the thing is with him, you don't know what McGregor's going to turn up on the night. So yeah, that's definitely going to be a great fight. It's going to be an interesting fight. It's a trilogy. Trilogies are always great. You can't help but watch the UFC when there's a trilogy on. But yeah, them two things especially I'm really looking forward to, and something that will give me a great chance to kind of relax from the constant machine of school, and just kind of give me make my brain know that it is the break and it's just time to kind of go, do you know what I mean? Just kind of relax and completely rewind. No, just declutter my brain, I think. And more on the note of the normal type of podcast, I'm actually really excited about, even though it might seem quite small, that I'm actually I've broke up on the 9th, obviously. My mum and little brother, obviously, because they go to a different school, primary school, they break up on the 23rd, so even though they'll be here in the evenings and stuff, that means that I'll basically have 2 weeks, apart from the weekends, to myself and just really independent. I have to sort my meals out, I have to sort my money out if I want to order anything from Deliveroo, money management and all stuff like that. I think that could actually be really useful, even though it's such a small thing that obviously you get anyway normally. Schools normally break up at different times, but now that I'm getting older and kind of having to sort out stuff for myself, looking forward to uni, in a year or so, I think this could actually be a really good learning curve that I can look forward to, and kind of see if I'm independent enough already or what I need to improve on moving forward, so that I'm ready for uni and ready to take that next step in my life. But also, my mum is planning to go away to Chelsea with one of her friends from the 28th to the 30th, that kind of weekend, I think. And I actually said I wouldn't go to that because I actually want to try and completely have an independent weekend to myself and see what I can do there. So I have to sort out all my food. Whereas like while she's at school, I have to sort out lunch and stuff like this. I'll have to sort out everything. I'll have to have the money to like to kind of get taxi or bus when I need it and stuff like that. So I think that could be a very steep learning curve, but one that I'm kind of going to relish and really take as experience that I can look to use moving forward. And yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm a bit I wouldn't say anxious, because I'm definitely not worried, but it's just one of them things you don't know how it's going to go beforehand. But I'm definitely looking forward to it because it's, as I say, it could give me some good practice moving forward into uni. And yeah, just something as small as that, something as little as that, although it may seem quite futile and unimportant, somebody who's not used to being on their own and being independent and stuff like that, it can actually be a big thing. Sometimes before, when I've had to stay on my own, it's manifested itself into anxiety, but as I said, like as you can probably tell by the words I'm using and stuff like that, I'm trying to manifest it into a good thing and trying to see it as an experience more than the event that I'm going to be worried about and fear of the unknown and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely want to use this as a positive thing for the future. And another thing as well, I know I did kind of a mock wrap up last week, and one bad thing that I don't really do is when I record the episodes and I edit them just a little bit and put them up, I don't listen to them like much after that, so I kind of forget what I talked about. But I don't know if I actually talked about the grades that I got in my mocks, and while it might seem a bit like I'm gloating, I think I kind of just said that I got good grades. But what I wanted to talk about here, I'm not going to talk about the specific grades because that might seem like it's gloating and just wanting to get praise and all stuff like that, and I don't want that. What I kind of wanted to talk about is the grades that I did get. It means that I'm kind of open to the universities that I wanted to go to, and it's definitely something that I have to be looking at during the break and looking at kind of starting to craft my applications for, starting to make my personal statements and all. Well, I've already started that, but as I say, just kind of craft a whole application and really focusing on that a bit more now, having to see what unis best suit me, maybe go to a few unis, see what they're all about, kind of visit them. And yeah, this is definitely going to be a huge summer break for me. It's kind of the summer break between 17 and 18, so it's a huge break anyway, with like the stuff that you can do and all stuff like that, like in life anyway. And then with all this added, like going to see universities and stuff like that, I really want to use this time, even though it is just 2 months, to kind of achieve a lot of things. I want to have a break because my brain needs it from the mocks. I want to reflect and look back. So I've already kind of said to myself that I definitely need more sleep and stuff like this. I definitely need to revise more and be more organised, and time management is a big thing for next year. So I kind of really want to reflect, and I want to get a lot done. I want to be able to have my summer work done early so that I can kind of use the latter half of this break to kind of do what I want to an extent, so that I don't go in September not feeling refreshed and not feeling rejuvenated and still working at that 10%, because I feel like if I did that for another year, my brain might break. And even though it kind of just worked this year, getting the grades that I wanted to, I don't know whether if I continuously keep doing it and pushing myself to my limits physically and mentally, I don't know whether that's going to come out with the same effect, and I don't know if it's going to work really if I do it again. And finally, I have to talk about it, the Euros, obviously, with England getting through to the final. I just have to talk about it because on the night I got so annoyed and I got so like kind of emotional about it. I ended up having not an argument, but just like a jokey argument with my dad and older brother about going, how the hell was that a penalty? How was that not a clear and obvious mistake? And like, because he just fell on his face and stuff like this because he didn't touch him. And then just going, well, it wasn't obviously clear and obvious, just again and again and again. That was a very, looking back on it, funny argument, but in the moment I was like, how do you not understand me? How is that a penalty at the end of the day? So yeah, I kind of have to talk about what happened with England and stuff like that, obviously supporting Wales and getting thrashed 4-0 by Denmark. Then England not only winning with a dodgy penalty, but also that penalty getting saved by the legend that is Kasper Schmeichel, and then Kane tapping in the rebound just. I just kind of wanted to hop on here and talk about that a little bit, because, oh my God, did England not deserve that? Did Gareth Southgate not deserve that? And yet, you still get all the England fans rolling around London and all that, saying, like, chanting it's coming home and, like, giving it the big I am. I just can't wait until Sunday. Sunday's obviously tomorrow as I'm recording this. I can't wait for Italy to absolutely thrash England, for them to just go kind of, oh, what do we do now? Because it's actually not coming home. And I know I said that about Denmark. And while Denmark definitely deserved to get more out of the game, obviously it's about who puts the ball in the back of the net in the end of the day. So let's hope Italy can get the job done and shut up all these England hooligans that will not shut up for 20 years afterwards if they manage to kind of overcome Italy and win the Euros tomorrow. So hopefully Italy can get the job done, avenge Wales getting beat 4-0 by Denmark, and kind of avenge Denmark even, losing 2-1 to a very dodgy decision by the ref. I mean, how was that given? I like Sturdy. Sturdy gets a lot of the slack from people and stuff like that, and I think that comes from a load of different factors. The way he's been portrayed in the media beforehand, his kind of cocky arrogance, even though he is a 20-year-old giving tens of millions of pounds. Like, what would you be like in that situation? And I think whether people want to address it or not, just kind of institutionalised systemic racism. But I won't get into that. People just don't seem to like Raheem Sterling. I quite like him. I think he's a class player, especially when he's on form for Man City. For the last few years, he's been one of their best players. And even though he wasn't in the best vein of form before the Euros, you can't doubt that he is just an amazing player, right? But oh my God, he was going down the byline. Two players were coming into him. It's the classic footballer thing. Oh, I'm going to run past these two players. They're going to contact with me, so I'm just going to fall down no matter what happens and get the pen, right? Fair enough. He had to dive in that situation. It was a crucial moment. He wants England to get the pen by one way or the other, no matter what. He wants England to win the game at the end of the day, so you can't fault him for that, right? The ref, you can't fault him for it. Two players rushed into him. It was kind of obvious that they made contact. I was going shit when it happened, because I thought they absolutely clattered him, and that he was completely right to, and that Denmark unfortunately had lost the game. But then what I don't get is VAR is supposed to remove human error, even though it's supposed to be a clear and obvious mistake. VAR is supposed to remove human error, go over to that, look at it for about a minute, and about 4 officials, I think it is, sitting in the VAR tent, still not seeing that as a clear and obvious error. How is falling on your face without contact not a clear and obvious error by the referee, that they actually didn't make contact and it's still a penalty? To me, football's just getting worse and worse. The way they just play it around the back, the way it's getting so tactical now that you end up playing the last 20 minutes in their corner trying to eke the game out. It shouldn't be like that. It should just be the best team wins. Anyway, I won't get into that. Then if you try and kind of remove the human error from it, and you can't even do that, then you'll just get 100,000 Neymars around the box, falling over 24/7, getting yellow cards here and there, but then also getting a lot of penalties that don't deserve to be penalties, because they're going to get given 50% of the time. I mean, like, what is the game coming to if a semi-final of what the second most important international competition in the world, right? The semi-final of that, deciding who goes into the final to potentially win it, right? Can't get the decision right of somebody falling on their face. And England fans, obviously, I understand it in a way, because you've got to celebrate when your teams win, but I don't get how they can be happy with that. The fact that they potentially have the chance of winning the tournament. I don't think they're going to win it gladly anyway, because Italy are unbeaten in 33 games. But they're going into a final for the first time in 55 years, as they remind us every single bloody minute of the day. How they can be happy with that off the basis of a penalty that just should not be given. And I don't get the argument as well that it swings and roundabouts when it's not. It's hardly swings and roundabouts when it's like, yeah, that Denmark maybe got a dodgy decision here and there, but that was the deciding penalty to send you into a final. That's one massive swing and roundabout, if you ask me. That's one massive stroke of luck. And it's not even luck. It was almost like an investigation had to go into whether VAR were being paid off, because just in what world is that a penalty? If you don't touch them, how can you possibly give that as a penalty? But anyway, I don't want to get too hyped up about that. I know I just went on like a 6-minute rant about that when this really isn't a football podcast. I just kind of have to talk about it. That you can see how much of an effect that had on my mental state for last week, because God, it annoyed me that England managed to get through off that. But anyway, I think I'm going to leave this one here. Just a bit of an update as always. I kind of wanted to stretch this one out a little bit. I did record this before and ended up only being 3.5 minutes long. So I thought I'd just talk about a few more things, make it about half of what the episode normally is. So it's not an overly long one. But yeah, hopefully you guys are all okay. Hopefully now that it's open up and again, hopefully you're all in good health and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that's all from me. Remember to download and share and all stuff like that as always. But I think for the first for the first 20 or so episodes, I know it hasn't quite been 20, but maybe like 15 or so episodes, while I've also been trying to do my A-levels as well, I think it's gone quite good so far. I obviously need to improve my confidence and all stuff like that, using the mic and kind of give my opinions on stuff. And I need to plan it a bit more and get some guests that I want to talk to, definitely, and that will definitely be something coming in the future as well. I'm definitely going to get more guests. There's been people already messaging me like they'd love to come on, but I'm going to be honest, I've just had no time to kind of really set it up, as I've talked about in the past. So I'm definitely going to be looking to do that now that I've got a bit more extra time to set that up over some holidays. And where I've been kind of doing one a week and maybe missing a week here and there, I want to kind of make up for that and maybe do two a week when I can, and just whenever I'm free, really. So yeah, hopefully you'll hear from me very, very soon with a guest. Hopefully that'll be an ideal world. But yeah, that's all from me for now, and I'll see you later. I'll speak to you later. Bye.